Hello. Today we're going to talk about another architect. I'm sorry. This is Wells Coates. Wells Coates is a Japanese-born Canadian architect who had a huge impact on Hampstead, of all places. So he was an engineer by training, but then he became an architect, an interior designer, and a product designer. So from his product design days, this is a very famous Bakelite round-shaped radio, which became a commercial success for a company called Echo. And from an architectural side, he worked on this building called the Isokon building on Lawn Road. Very, very beautiful building, incredibly, I don't know, it looks like a giant fridge or a yacht somehow. And this was meant to be the place for affluent middle-class people who had secondary homes somewhere in the countryside, but perhaps worked in London during the week. So you can think of it as like bachelor apartments-ish. So you can see a little bit of the detail of the interiors of those apartments. The idea was that people had a very minimal kitchen offered to them inside the apartment, and you would go and go downstairs in the restaurant to have dinner. That didn't, and it was kind of in a way, a cafeteria. That didn't quite work out, and people kept insisting on cooking inside of their own flats, and so they turned the downstairs space into an open restaurant. And it eventually became a very well-known club slash meeting place for the intelligentsia of that time. People from the Bauhaus who had fled Germany came and stayed in the apartments in the building. The first ever television chef was the chef for the restaurant downstairs. So it was a little bit of a hub, which is really amazing. And you can find out more about the Isokon building also in this book called Isokon and the Bauhaus in Britain. So really making the connection between that emigre community and Wells Coates and his work. Wells Coates ended up sort of leaving the project, but then Walter Gropius and the owners of the building actually collaborated. Marcel Breuer also collaborated, and they formed a furniture company that still to this day makes furniture. So very interesting kind of bent plywood type furniture, the kinds of things that Alvar Aalto would do a bit later on. And yeah, is still made today. The building is still there. It can still be visited, but only for the little gallery. And then occasionally the apartments go up for sale for millions. But it's a really impressive building, and in an area that's also very impressive for its history of modernism in London. So whenever you can, which is not now, go and have a look. Thanks.